Let's stay with the build-up to Tuesday's vote on the adoption of the panel's report. Our reporter, Athi Mtongana, earlier catching up with COPE's Willie, Madisha and the IFP's Mfakazeleni, Buthelezi.
We continue to speak to political parties in the National Assembly. I'm joined by the COPE that's going to give us input for next week's sitting, considering the fact that, of course, last night the National Assembly Programme Committee postponed the sitting to consider the report. What do you make of it, first of all?
No, we agree. I mean, all that we want to see is that all the members of parliament must be here, so that when we do at the end vote, all the people must be here to vote. Instead of voting via the telephone or whatever, like ANC wants it to be, we want people to be here to vote and say, this is what we want.
And you would presume will vote in favor of the adoption of the report?
COPE won't. Why? Because there are many loopholes, there are many mistakes, and that is what we'll be able to rise and say. For example, the panel itself, the judge, has risen and told us as Chief Whips, when he handed the report, that he did not have all the facts, that he did not have time to look into this particular matter. He indicated that the people who presented the reports were not actually the complainants. That is what he said, and it is there when you look at number 8, item 80123. He indicated that there was no proper information. He indicated that even the reports were not assigned. And somewhere he indicates that there is no necessity for this impeachment to take place. He has indicated many problems, no oral evidence, nothing. And therefore, on the basis of that, there is no empirical evidence that you then can arrive at to take that kind of a decision. What COPE then says is that let us follow all the processes. Let us look into both legal and ethical programs, as Parliament has agreed before, and we take decisions on the basis of that. Not simply rise and say, because ANC is doing whatever they are doing to achieve whatever they are doing, we must therefore follow them. This is not the Parliament of ANC. It's the Parliament of 60 million people of South Africa. And what ANC is doing is just out of order. We can't agree with that.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Let's continue with the IFP. Then you've heard from COPE saying that they will not vote in favor of the adoption of the report. Thank you so much for your time. Your views?
No, we as the IFP are going to vote in favor of the report. And we're happy that the Chief Whips Forum actually decided that we're going to sit physically next week, and we want to see the report being adopted, because this is our work. It's this same parliament that actually decided that we appoint a panel, and the panel has done its work. It has presented to us that there is prima facie evidence. So all that is left is for Parliament to take this process forward now and form a committee that will actually go into details, and all those info that is missing in the report, the committee will have the duty to actually collect and meet everybody that is supposed to provide evidence, and that is it.
Thank you so much for your time. The IFP and COPE giving us their input insofar as next week. COPE saying that they will be voting against the adoption of the report and against the establishment of an impeachment inquiry. The IFP saying that it will vote for that report to be adopted and for an establishment of an impeachment inquiry. But we know, of course, in the National Assembly, the ANC makes up the majority of the members, and they have been given marching orders to vote against the adoption of the report. We'll wait for next week when MPs gather to vote and consider the Section 89 Independent Panel of Experts report. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Athi Mtongana in Parliament.